Hey, welcome to part 2 of the series. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to kind of start building the tunnel and the liner and everything into the area that we're going to put this in. So it's going to cover this area right in here. So tonight we're just going to put in the tunnel portals. Now I bought tunnel portals and I thought I was buying a pair. Silly me. It was only one. So I went and I didn't want to buy another one because shipping on another one would have cost me just as much as the portal. And I didn't want to pay double. So this is the one that I bought. It's very nice. It's plaster and all. And when I found out I only had one, I went and took my pink foam and I carved another one out of it. So I think it came out okay. I'm going to use it. It's fairly well matches the bought one. So we're going to use them. I'm going to use the one I made at this end down here, and I'm going to use the plaster one up at the top end because I know you can see it better up there. So I want to keep it where it can be seen. And then at the same time, I bought these retaining walls. These came in a pair. I thought I was only getting one of these and two of those, and it came to be the reverse. So I bought these. These are going to go with the tunnel portals. They'll need to be trimmed and all. So for right now, let's go and set these tunnel portals into place. So what we're going to do is the first one's going to end up going right over here. So what I'm going to do is I want to try and make myself so I've got enough room. I want to put this... We're going to put this right in, let's say right here, I think we'll go. Because I want to keep it with enough space to continue this mountain in here so that it looks like it's all attached. Now, I would like to just glue this down just like this, centered up on there, but I'm a little worried about height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit, I have a little bit of extra of this the cork that I used as the road bed, and I'm going to cut a couple pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them right here, one on each side, and we're going to attach the tunnel portal to this, and it brings it up to the height of the rail, and it gives us that little bit of extra clearance. So let's cut off a couple pieces of that, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it to the width of this. And we're going to glue this down, one over here and one over here, and I'm going to glue those right into place, and that'll raise up the tunnel portal just a little bit. And all I'm using for glue is my handy caulk. This is the same stuff I use for pretty much everything. We'll just glue that right into place right there. That, and then we're going to take a little bit more of this and put it right on top like that, and then we'll take and we'll set the tunnel portal right on top of that like that. A little bit heavy. So that'll fit in there just like that. Now by the time we had all our scenery in there, and everything that's got to go in here, these tunnel pads here will totally disappear into the scenery. You'll never see them. So now let's go place the other one. We need 2 more pads. At this point, we're just going to kind of let that sit and dry for a little bit. We'll come back in a couple hours and we'll start building the liner for the tunnel that's going to connect the two. And I have some ideas I want to try with that as well. And then we'll add these in after. All right. So until then, we'll see you in a little bit. All right, we're back. These things have dried a little bit. They're pretty solid up in here. They're not really going anywhere. So what I did while I was off camera is I cut these wing walls. And I cut them in height so that they fit just underneath here. And I dug them into the wall, into the mountainside here a little bit. So those will go in there just like that. And I have a second one for the top end that's going to do the same thing on that same side. Okay. Now, we're kind of wondering how I was going to build the walls in the back because I don't want anything too thick. I wanted to build the tunnel walls that are going to attach these two because I want to make a full liner through it. And what I came up with is I'm going to use pink foam. I love this stuff. I use it on everything. So why not here? So I went and got a piece, and this is it right here. This is the pink foam. And what I did was I cut it to size. I cut it to the length I needed plus a little bit. So as you can see, I notched the ends here just a little bit on both ends. All right. And when I fit this in here, the ends of the foam pass just past the side, so the notch fits inside. So, because the foam's a little too thick, it's thicker than I'd like, and it fits inside the wall, and it fits outside, so it fits along the outside of the edge of the wall like this. So here's the other one, and this will fit right in here like this, and it'll fit right up in, and it fits tight to the wall on the outside here, and then I can stone veneer over that. But what I'm going to do, because I can see inside the tunnel for a little ways, okay, so what I did was I actually looked up into the tunnel and kind of see how far I can see, and I can see roughly into this, right up into this neighborhood right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this foam. Now, if you ever paint this foam, do not use spray paint. It will not work. It'll eat the foam up. I see it all the time on the internet. People are using, and they're all shocked when something bad happens. Yeah, no. Latex paint and a paintbrush. That's the way to go. It'll work pretty much every time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint from here all the way down to here, and the same on the other side down to here. I'm not going to bother about the middle. Who cares? And I'm going to do both of these. This one I'm just going to paint the whole thing just because I can. And then we're going to cut, I'm going to glue these in. Now there's a gap down at the bottom you can see here. I'm going to use my caulk again. And I'm going to lay a bead down, and I'm going to put weights on top, and I'm going to glue this right down like this, right into place, and throw some weights on it, and we'll let that sit until it dries. The other reason I kind of like doing it like this is if I ever want to take these portals out, it's only a little bit of caulk on the bottom, it'll come out, but they'll fit right back in easily if I don't glue the ends here. Haven't decided if I want to glue those. I'm thinking it might be better to not glue them in, because I say when I need to clean your track. It's not an if, it's a when, because you're always going to need to clean your track. You need to be able to get in there and clean that section of track somewhat. And I'm afraid I won't be able to get in there. If I leave the hole, if I leave at least one of these to be removable, I can get a cleaner on a stick. I can get something inside there and clean it out, because I'm not cutting access holes or anything like that. I don't want to cut anything like that in there. I don't think it's worth it for just a short space like that. So I think that's what we're going to do with that. Okay, so let's start painting these. What I've got here is something called River Rock, and it's a textured paint. I got this a long time ago. I had it for another project, but it's kind of a light gray. Alright, so there you go. That's all painted now. I'm going to let that dry for a little while, and we'll come back and I'll hit that with another coat, and then we can go ahead and start gluing those in. So until then, we'll be back. Okay, so our pieces here are dry. They've sat for a while now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue these in. I think it'll look pretty good. I wanted to do it this way because I don't like when you just look in the tunnel and you just see black. I don't think that's good. So we're going to do it like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some caulk on the bottom of these two pieces here. And we're going to set those in place and weight them down until tomorrow. Alright, so that's that. Now we definitely have to let that sit overnight. It's going to take a while for that caulk to set up. Okay, so that's it for this video. We'll come back on the next video and we'll start building the roof to the tunnel here, and we'll start building the mountains, the connecting mountain into here, and the front fascia for this mountain and all that stuff, and we'll get all that done. So until then, we'll talk to you later. Bye.